Yo, what is up everyone? It is Lion here, and today I'm going to be talking to you about play to earn gaming. I'm going to be telling you how gaming plus NFTs equate to a revolution in the gaming industry. Let's get into it. Wow, non-fungible tokens representing in-game assets? That's the best idea ever. You totally get what that means, right? No, not at all. Maybe you've heard of NFTs, but you don't understand what $1 million JPEGs have to do with gaming. Or maybe you're a hardcore gamer that's heard a little bit about this and wants to turn those skills into a little bit of extra cash. Or maybe you just don't get any of this stuff and want to have a little bit better idea of what NFTs and crypto are. No matter where you're coming from, by the end of this video, you are going to have a basic understanding of these concepts served up to you in a nice digestible format, and will walk away with more knowledge than you got here with. All right, so let's get into the first concept, which is what is an NFT? An NFT is a technology enabled by blockchains, just like a cryptocurrency, with one key characteristic difference. NFTs are unique. The relationship I like to use to explain this is a cryptocurrency is just like a dollar. You would go to the store and spend your dollar, maybe get $1 in exchange as change, but the dollar has no value outside of its intrinsic ability to trade for goods and services. The individual dollar, you don't care which one you have, you just have a dollar that buys a good or service. That's like a cryptocurrency coin. An NFT is a lot more like the title to your car. Now, the title of your car has your VIN number on it, and it represents your real asset, your car. It says, hey, I'm the owner of this, and this is what proves that. But you wouldn't just go around trading the pink slip to your car for any other car. There's a value to it, a value that it holds. It's unique to it itself. And that is the same way that an NFT works. So now that we understand that an NFT can represent an item, it could be a real world item or a digital item, we can start to see how you could take an NFT and show ownership over a digital item in a game. Now, this would allow you to do things like buy, sell, trade, exchange these items with other players. And that brings us to the next topic. So what is play to earn gaming, and how does this work? In order to explain this, we should first talk about the current monetization model of games, and specifically I'd like to focus on free-to-play games like League of Legends. What Riot has done here is they've made a game free for players to play, and through an in-game currency and reward system, you can earn or purchase skins, which are cosmetics that you can apply to your characters through these different mechanisms. Now, you never really own these items. You ever only get kind of a long lease on these. You can't sell these to other players. You can sell an account, but in almost every game, terms of service prevents this. They have a centralized method of selling the assets, and that's how they monetize. And that's how things have been done in the past, and quite successfully. Now let me introduce the concept of blockchain gaming. Essentially, it's taking that existing model where you have these mechanisms and in-game loops to earn items and currency, and it's applying blockchain technology to them, so that maybe these in-game currencies are actual cryptocurrencies that can trade for other cryptocurrencies, or even dollars, or whatever currency in the country you're from is on an exchange. And also applying NFTs, those items, for example, those League of Legends skins, instead of being sold just to you once and it being tied to your account, you can go onto a marketplace and exchange these with other players for cryptocurrencies or whatever you'd like. You could even send them, gift them to friends, anything you'd like to do with them. There is a sense of ownership. Instead of just leasing this asset to your account, you actually own it in a Web 3.0 wallet and can transfer it just like any other asset that you would own. Due to the nature of the way Web 3.0 and this future of crypto-enabled web browsing and experience is, this enables the democratization of these assets and the marketplaces in which they're traded. so that the players can actually retain or even gain value through these transactions. So you're probably thinking, if the game's free to play and the company only sells the item once and then players sell it to make the money off of it, well, how does that work for them? How is it sustainable? And this is where the model of the game maker being the vendor changes in part. So they still sell the item initially, which is typically called a mint. But after that point, the player steps into that vendor position. The company then steps back to a market maker position, and they will make a percentage off of the transfer of these assets. And by doing this, they will need to make limited supplies of these. Otherwise, you would just keep buying them from the creator of the game. But by having scarcity, a limited amount of them, that's what gives them this value and encourages players to sell, buy, trade them on the secondary markets. So now we can kind of see the bigger picture of how this revolutionizes gaming. Instead of spending a ton of time grinding up these little shards to put together a loot box that you need to earn a key for, so on and so forth, just to get this item that's bound to your account with no actual real world value, all of these different mechanisms are monetized in a way that makes it so your time is actually earning value. Now, you can turn around and sell this time through these assets to other players. You know, say that there's a skin that takes a really high skill level to unlock and takes a lot of time in these points to get to. Now you can put that grind in because you really enjoy the game. Maybe you already have one that you've unlocked that you like, or maybe you just decided, hey, the fun of the game's enough for me. I want to turn this into something that's a little bit more sustainable. You can then mint that asset and then put it on the secondary market and then get a reward for that. You can actually get paid for playing these games. And another big point here is that a lot of these companies are in a startup phase, and in these early adoption phases, just like, you know, the big tech companies in the .com era and since then, the earlier you adopt, the earlier you invest into these projects, the bigger your returns are. So as these companies are creating games and moving from this model of using a digital currency that's you know only in their ecosystem to a cryptocurrency that's tradable on exchanges and across the world with anyone that's using these Web 3.0 wallets and exchanges, then you can end up getting these airdrops. You can get mints. There are a lot of events where they are, you know, giving out bonuses of these crypto tokens to players for participating and playing the game. And a lot of these very rare early mints, you know, they're limited, so they're going to continue to increase in value. Think about, you know, the Black Lotus cards from Magic the Gathering or Charizard from the original print of the Pokemon trading card game. These items increase in value as players adopt the game and begin to fall in love with these games and these brands. And so that's kind of what we're going to see start happening here. And it's a great time to start getting exposure to this, to check it out. You know, not all of these games are polished, but some of them really are, and it's good to check these out as this is growing, because we're going to see this really blow up and start taking over the gaming space in the coming years. Now, as we've seen with the sea of cryptocurrencies and early access games, it's hard to tell what's going to do well and what's going to fall flat. You have to read a bunch of white papers, do research, and at the end of the day, you just want to play games and earn money. Who has time for all that stuff? Well, lucky for you, that's what I do. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel, hit that dinner bell, and some sweet, sweet, delicious and nutritious play to earn gaming cuisine will be served up hot and ready for you whenever it comes out. We're going to be keeping up to date on all of the AAA projects. Specifically, I'm focusing right now on the Immutable X Layer 2. For those of you who haven't checked it out, I have some content on Gods Unchained and Guild of Guardians. So stick around and make sure you check out that new content so that you can spend less time reading and more time gaming and earning. I hope you all got something out of the video, enjoyed the content, and I hope to see you out there in these play to earn ecosystems.